16 years. That is how long I've been in business. And in that time, I've also interviewed hundreds of the most exceptional founders, entrepreneurs, CEOs in the world. From all of that experience, I've learned about some of the fundamental games of business. And in this episode today, I'm going to walk you through 5 of them. That's dancing, fucking hell, I'm a pro. I know how it feels. I used to work in a call center with her, whether it's a YouTube channel, a charity, a business of your own, or a project, or a side hustle. These are the 5 fundamental games that you need to know about. 16 years condensed down into just a couple of minutes.
You need to do
Meet and greet.
yeah.
Sorry, mate. Apparently I smell. There we go.
Just so inspirational.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, it just makes me a better parent. And I'm excited for you to be a parent.
I know, right? My partner's here today, so we talk about it a lot, and we've been doing fertility tests and all that kind of thing, so it's happening. What's your name?
Joe.
Joe.
Baxter. So 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I had like a cardiac arrest and I died for a long time, and I lost I've got a defibrillator here. Phil. I like. I suppose your podcast really made like a big impact on me recovering, because I mean I couldn't walk, right?
How old were you when you had the heart attack?
My bowel died because I was deaf for so long. I was 24, 33 now. Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you. So inspiring, bro, honestly.
Thank
What an incredible
you.
story. Thank you.
Sorry,
Hello.
I can't see anything.
I'm here.
Lovely to meet you,
Pleasure
Stephen.
to
How are
meet you.
you?
I'm really, really good.
You like dogs, don't you,
I
Stephen?
love dogs. They're my favourite.
Please say hello to her if you want. Her name is Ida.
Ida. Hello, how are you? Oh my God, she's the most beautiful dog ever.
I try and help brands and business become more accessible. So if ever you wanted to talk about the Diary of a CEO being more accessible on social media.
We talk about this a lot. You're so sweet.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I think you're like a guru in the house.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. What time do we start?
7:45.
7:45.
You've got 20 minutes. We'll grab you in like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Everyone comms on standby, please. Should be looking at a show starting 4.
You do me a favour and just start setting the atmosphere. Let's bring our slides dimmed.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Stephen Ireland!
Thank you, everybody, for being here. I stumbled over that fucking loss aversion thing. It said 10 times. You've got to find 10 times, and then it's on the screen. It says 2 times. I got fucking hell, bumbled down. Loads of things. I got loads of shit wrong. I fucking even said the guy's name was Peter Steele. It's Piers Steele. Just fucking bumbled so much in the start of it. I was like, shit. I fucking.
No, that was good.
So many people sat there aren't going to pick up on that.
I know that.
But maybe like we go a few shows and you just don't have a script.
Bro, I got so many things wrong. How long we got?
We've actually got half an hour in school.
Oh, that's fucking too long. I said 20 minutes on stage.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I was gonna sit down.
In Dublin you said 20 minutes and we had 20 minutes, but everyone took half an hour. Yeah, jokes. Maybe, well, it's only going 20, so we'll be on time about an hour. Yes, we're back on at 9:15.
Got 4 shows this week, like you said.
Timing was great.
I always just want to get right back out. I hate the wait.
I'll just let you chill out for a bit.
Come on, everyone back in your fucking seats. Let's do this.
Come on, you're okay, you're alright. You're a harsh critic of yourself, so just trust us, okay? You got this.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please take your seats? The second half will commence in 5 minutes.
Nobody told me that when I started
It's really exhausting in an interesting way.
Very adrenalized right now.
You know, where to sleep.
you can see how someone might struggle in everyday life because they're like always adrenaline full.
Yeah.
Like there's no way I can sleep now for the next 3-4 hours.
They started talking about like mental health on the road with performers, and one of the things they realized is that you go on tour and everybody gets back to their own rooms, and everyone's having this actual ubiquitous experience of isolation. Everyone's adrenalized, but you're just like in your room.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what Liam Payne said to me.
Yeah.
He said he was like...
My dad said it from day one, lonely hotel rooms, man. Getting locked in that room is not fun when you've been exposed. I mean, I've come off gigs before. I did a gig in Dubai. I was really worried no one was going to show up. It was one of my first solo gigs by myself. I get out there and I'm like awash with these sea of people. And I was like, I shit you not, I got back to my hotel room and I was sat in my room on a chair like this. And I was about to go to the Maldives with Cheryl and Bear, and I'm like, I don't think I can go to the Maldives right now. I can't move off this chair.
How did you feel on that chair?
Shocked. It's almost like, you know, like in a movie where they throw a grenade and he goes, and then everyone's like,
and
that's what it feels like, and you're like, oh my god, like,
yeah,
So interesting. Story.
every now and then I realise that I've overextended myself in a way that is unproductive. And when I say unproductive, I mean taking on too many things to the point that I'm compromising the quality of what I can do. And this has been a really important reminder this year about saying no to more things, having a bit of patience with my goals over the long term, and trying not to rush everything and please everyone, because in doing so you end up disappointing the most important person, which is fundamentally yourself. And really, about 3 to 6 months ago, I should have just taken a moment and said no to a couple of things, and sort of forecasted forward the impact that saying yes to everything and being a bit too much of a people pleaser would have on future Steve. And so I found myself in a situation where I felt really ill prepared for the event today, and there's 3,000 people waiting for me to come out on stage, and I wasn't my best. I feel a sense of responsibility because I know people in the audience have like paid their hard-earned money. They're excited to see me. They listen to our show. They've invested heavily with time and money and all these other things to be there. And so I just had to collect myself a little bit and take myself back to a couple of first principles. One of them being that, you know, all I can do is my best. And I think when you liberate yourself from this idea of being perfect every single time you show up, and that's the kind of conversation I was having with myself, which is just kind of trying to take a breath and give myself a little bit of self-compassion in that moment, and remind myself that all I can do is my best. And I'll learn from this. You know, life isn't a sprint, so in these moments you got to kind of just put it behind you and keep going. And as the tour goes on, and as I go around the world and speak all over the world, I'll make sure that I'm taking care of my first foundations, my sleep, my diet, making sure I'm working out, making sure I'm saying no to things to give me bandwidth and mental capacity to really focus, and I'll make sure that I'm not overthinking. The bits that I think I'm best at are when I'm basically freestyling. When I'm reading it, it gets a little bit formulaic and it loses the emotion. The bullet point thing, I'm not sure how that would work.
Do you want to try and see what it's like?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so when I go to this black screen, this is confuses me a little bit. This says cost, it should say loss. Loss, double S. Yeah, so that's kind of where I get lost, because I skipped ahead, did something, and then I looked back and we were still in the same place. Cool, I'm done. Yep, thank you. This top.
Can I ask you a favour?
Of course you can.
Would you dance with me?
I don't dance, unfortunately. I've got a leg injury.
No, you don't.
I've got a foot issue with my toes, so I can't, unfortunately.
Okay. No worries.
Best part of this book, if an 8-year-old tells you you can't swim, tell them to fuck off.
I still can't swim. Well, I can. I can swim much better. If you drop me in the water, I could go 100 meters before I died.
Right.
Which is good.
Yeah.
It's better. Do you know what I mean? Isn't that? It's better than just dying straight away.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than nothing.
Literally salsa.
Which is like this.
Which is like this and this. So same foot.
That's dancing.
No,
Fucking hell, I'm a pro.
This way. It's easy.
That's not really salsa, is it? Salsa's much more like.
Honestly, that's how it starts.
Really?
Then you just add a little bit of hip action.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a different.
Come to my class.
It's a different show.
I'll show you.
I messaged you on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you've not replied to me.
I get this all the time. A couple of other people message me as well. This guy here, he's running my social media channels. He's the one that ignored you.
Rude. Would you mind?
Yes, of course. I have these sand timers all over my house. There's actually one in the backdrop of the podcast, if you look closely on the left. There's one by my bedside, there's one on my desk in work. And all of these sound timers do the same thing. They are a constant reminder to stay focused on living my life, going through it with every fibre in my body, quitting the miserable degree, walking out of that bloody call centre job that I used to hate, starting the business, reminding my partner, my family, my friends how much I love them every single day, and living life in a way where regret will never be an issue that I have. And that sound timer looks at me every single day and it says, Steve, what are you going to do today? Thank you so much. Did it feel better?
Yeah, I mean, I think it feels like more of you.
Yeah.
Like there's more of you on the stage, right?
Yeah, exactly. Felt like the audience enjoyed it more, felt like they were more engaged. It's much easier to hold people when you don't have to worry about teleprompter.
Grace just overheard someone saying, right, that's it, tomorrow morning I'm sending in my resignation.
Right, home time, guys.
Yeah.
What's the link to? Fuck.
Hello, Mary. Stephen here. Just wanted to send you a message to say congratulations and well done for shooting your shot. I rate it so highly because I know when you do things like that, when you park a bus outside a venue and your friends are aware of it and there's a financial implication to you and there's a chance that you might be embarrassed and I might not respond and all of those things. I realise most people, they steer away from the potential reward because of the potential loss to ego, to money and all of those things. But I think what you've done there is something which is an indicator that you're going to be tremendously successful in your life, because life comes down to something I call the law of averages, which I talk about on stage at the show, which is the amount of times you swing the bat increases the probability of you hitting a home run. And most people don't swing the bat because of that loss aversion, because of the risk, because of ego, because they're more concerned with how it will seem or how it will look, or pride, or all of those things. You swang the bat, and I want to make sure that for you it's a home run. So if you want to pop down to our office at some time and hang out with me, and we'll talk about your application. I've seen your YouTube video, it's super cool, super cool. My whole team have seen it as well. That doesn't mean that I can guarantee you a job or something, but we can bring you in and you can see what we're up to, and maybe there's something mutually beneficial for both of us. So yeah, congratulations. Thank you so much for coming to the show. Thank you for your initiative, really appreciate it. It's worth looking at like what Richard Branson's done with the Virgin Group as well, because there are similarities in how he's structured things, but also how they've created quite like a mission-focused thesis about what they invest in, ownership structures, etc., leadership, etc. So, customer service, yeah. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Today she drew out the group and asked me loads of questions on everything, like asked me the strength of the people in each department, the strength in the market of like the product offering, where do we need people so that Steve's not a bottleneck, etc., that kind of thing. Can you hear me? Oh my God, fucking, that's annoying. What's the capacity?
Just under 2,000.
Oh yeah, it's good old venue this.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Such a big stage, isn't it? Jesus.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing. Is that screen at the back working? Can't see that. Eventually follow. See, that's the issue.
Yeah. It's basically full. By the way.
There's like one guy who I'm fighting with. Like he's been dragged down by his missus. His missus is a fan. He's trying to refute. Yeah. There's always one person in every audience that you look at and go, "You're watching this begrudgingly." So he's my barometer. I'm like, if I can get the guy with the crossed arms there to look at me, like Michael Bublé said this to me before. He was like, "You play to the guy that's like refusing."
Even now, man, I play 50,000 people, and if there's one looking at their watch, I will play to that man. And my mission, I love the rest of the 49,999 of you, but you. I'm not leaving here until I break you. I'm not leaving here until, you get me. I'm not gonna be your cup of tea, I might not be your favorite, but you'll walk away and you'll say, okay, the kid's better than, I get it.
It's really good though. I think it's the best one today.
It feels like I'm just talking to them versus like reading or anything. So the next fundamental game that I've developed a growing obsession with was highlighted to me again by Walter Isaacson. If you don't know who this man is, he's the only individual on earth that followed Steve Jobs behind the scenes for 2.5 years roughly until Steve Jobs died. He then went and followed Elon Musk for 2 years. He taught me something which he calls painting the back of the fence. And the minute he said it, I got deja vu because I'd seen this pattern in my podcast guests that they all seem to be the type of people that paint the back of the fence.
Musk had a passion for beauty and even the beauty of the parts unseen. I remember when I was first working with Steve Jobs. Steve would take me around the backyard of his house where he grew up in a small tract home in California. And there was a fence. And he made me look at the back of the fence, which faced scrubland. He said, my dad said we had to make the back of the fence just as beautiful as the front of the fence. And Steve said to his father, why? Nobody will see it, nobody will know. And he said, yes, but you will know. They cared in Jobs' case whether the circuit board itself was beautiful, even though nobody would ever see it. If you have a passion for perfection, you care even about the beauty of the parts unseen. Both Steve Jobs and Elon Musk cared more about details than your average CEO. And both of them felt that if you have a passion and intensity on the details, the rest will follow more easily.
Are you the type of person that would paint the back of the fence or make a circuit board in an iPhone beautiful, even though no one was ever going to see it? The very best leaders do. Thank you. It's so crazy, isn't it, that people come here and they come and give me their evening and they sit there for 2-3 hours, whatever. It's so wild. But then you see them come out and spend their money and you go, whoa, fucking hell, like, it's like really a special thing. It's really a special thing. I've never done anything in my life that's so special. I'll never find anything so special. I've tried all these things. It's such a privilege. And I sometimes, when I come away from these shows, I think to myself, I'm like, I need to do more. Which is a problem. Because I've already got bags into my eyes. Yeah. Every time I leave these shows, I go, fuck it, what can we do more for them, for that kid? And I don't know what it is. I mean, we're doing a lot, right? We're doing good.
Yeah.
But what can we do more?
Have a good trip.
So I arrived at the venue and there was a young kid, I think he's like 18 or 19 years old, stood outside. He was trying to buy a diary, one of our diaries that we sell, on the stand. And as I walked in, and I went over to him, I said, you don't need to buy that, I'll buy it for you. So I went to buy it for him and I got chatting to him, and he came to the other shows in London, so he's been to the show before. He's traveled all the way up from London with the very little money that he had on him to be here. I think he's the oldest of many, many siblings, and he's young and he's hungry, and it reminded me of me when I was younger and I was broke and I was trying really hard. And I can't explain it in any other way. I used to get on mega buses. I used to jump, when I say jump, I mean not pay, and come up with a little fake SMS code to get on the mega bus, to travel around the country, to be in certain environments, to speak at certain events, to be in certain spaces. And I met him and he reminded me of me, that I saw a ton of hunger in him. I saw a young kid who is really just looking for answers and had big, big dreams. And so as I was speaking to him in the lobby, I said to him, okay, you're shadowing me today. And that meant, I said to him, follow me, come with me backstage. You're gonna be part of my team today. You're gonna help me out. We've got lots of work we need to do. We've got a meet and greet to organize. We've got all these things going on. So
it's crazy.
And just as you arrived, Steve was just walking in.
Yeah, literally. I was literally just coming around just to see who's about, just to see how the event was gonna go. And then Stephen just came.
Just say,
oh my gosh.
Told him, you know, you're a big inspiration. He's like, yeah, man, it's so cool. Just follow me. I was like, oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. That's crazy.
He had travelled all the way up from London to be here, and he'd already been to the London show. So, and he was nice. One of the most incredible things, and I almost get emotional when I think about it, that I realised that I can do these days is give people like me, who are 18, 19 years old, that were trying to figure out life, is I can give them some of those answers. I can expose them to some of the behind the scenes things that I was so desperately in search of when I was his age. I know how it feels to have a big dream, but the path from where you are now to where you want to be is just black, and it's cloudy, and you can see the peak of the mountain, but you can't see the journey up the mountain. It's all just black and cloudy. So you're like, I can see where I am now, and I can see the very peak, but everything in the middle is dark. So much of what we do with Behind the Diary, but also whenever I can with people like David, is just to try and part some of those clouds and turn the lights on a little bit so that they have a greater chance of navigating up to whatever their personal or professional mountaintop or peak is. And
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Stephen Bartlett.
Mo Borgat on my podcast, episode 101, if you want to listen, he said he did this eraser test on people where he asked an audience like this, if you could erase the most traumatic event from your life, if you could press a button and erase it, would you? 95% of people say no. And these are horrifically traumatic things. People don't want to mess with their past. We know that messing with the past will change our future, but we don't understand, I think, psychologically, that the smallest things we do today can cause a domino effect that changes our fate. I often think about the time we have as these betting chips, and each hour of life is equal to just one chip. If you live to the average life expectancy, when you arrive at the casino of life, you're given 500,000 of these chips. And from the day you're born, your job is to intentionally place these chips on the roulette table of life. The one rule of the game is that you have to place one chip every single hour. And once you place a chip onto the roulette table of life, you will never get it back. The most important thing in business and in life, which it eventually taught me, is that the center point of my influence is how I allocate my time, how I place these precious chips. So please, Glasgow, please, gamble wisely. Thank you so much. Doing this, it really is like the most incredible reminder of like why we do all this shit. I come on stage and I think there is nothing better I could do with my life than like do things to help people.
The blind guy that came up with the dog in the meet and greet was standing next to us.
Yeah.
And he was chatting to me and he said both his parents had passed away, but his dad passed away when he was 50, and he said the one line that Holly said about wishing she had one more day is what he said to him. And I was like, oh my god. He was like, I've never heard anyone else say that before.
Oh, that's sweet.
I know.
Yeah.
So nice to meet you. That was amazing.
Oh, thank you so much for hanging around. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I nearly like touching your bum there.
It's okay. It's not, you won't be the first. I recognise you.
I think you would recognise me.
Yes, I recognise you. Really good. So I used to work in a call centre with her.
Yeah.
At Cheetham Hill, selling hotel rooms.
Yeah.
She used to sit next to me. When I was, how old? I was what, 19 years old.
Yeah.
It was so boring, and you were basically my only friend at work.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
I got fired from there for faking work.
Yeah.
Have I told you this story before? Where I was pretending to take phone calls and I got fired?
They were listening.
Yeah. They called me in and were like, they played me talking to myself. And I got fired.
So honestly, happy memories. It was me and you. I'm going to be a millionaire by the time.
Was I? Do you know why I hated that job? Because there was really no sales element to it. Whereas all the other call centre jobs I'd worked, you could if you were really good at sales, your outcomes were different. Good to see you again.
It's brought me so much joy watching you over the years. I've been so proud.
Oh no, I talk about that job all the time, but I also talk about having someone at that job that you could talk to that made it not so boring. So thank you so much. Good to see you again.
On the screen here we have two different skills. They don't overlap much, which means most people in that industry don't share them. And to be the best at that combination of skills, all you have to be is that middle point, which is in the top 10% of both. Natalie Portman was an actress. She paused her acting career temporarily, and she spent 4 years doing a psychology degree because she thought that would add something unique to her skill stack, and she says in her own words that that psychology degree has helped her to embody the characters in a way that other people can't. Another example is Steve Jobs again. If he hadn't have gone to one class where he learned about fonts, typography and design, he says that none of the devices in your pockets now would be beautiful. And I remember a couple of years ago, I was at Madison Square Garden, come to this event with a client, it's a boxing match. And as I sat ringside, I saw this guy called Vasil Lomachenko, and I was transfixed. And I was transfixed for one reason, his feet. That sounds like a fetish, it's not a fetish. I was transfixed because this fucking guy's feet were unbelievable. Nobody can hit this guy. Now his dad understood the concept of skill stacking. Because at 9 years old, when Vasil was an exceptional prodigy boxer, he took him out of boxing. And he said, Vasil, you're going to dance for 4 years. And after 4 years of dance classes, he put him back into boxing. And that's why Vasil, in my opinion, is the best in the world. He got a rare and complementary skill. Most people get skills that are very unrare. A social media manager will go and do copywriting course. And that is great, it is useful, but it's not going to give you a rare complementary advantage that will make you the best in the world.
That's something I wanted to speak to you about when you were mentioning like painting the back of the fence has to be perfect in the inside. Walter Isaacson talks about being so perfect.
Yeah.
But then there's like contradiction in that of like loads of people always say like it's not about perfection, you just have to get it done. You just have to start. So where do you stand on that?
I think in life you should expect contradiction.
Okay.
everything is a dichotomy. So everything is like true in some sense, but also not true. And in terms of painting the back of course, there's sometimes you have deadlines, and you have to say done is better than perfect. But then there's also situations where like the team who fought right up into the deadline to make it as perfect as it could be will win. Most teams don't even operate in that dichotomy. Most teams will go, that's done. And they'll say that because it's easy. There's a culture of just easy. You know, clocking off here and oh, it comes back wrong, fuck it, it's fine. So like when I met Grace starts with a huge head start because she was already like great at social media. She was already doing it. And there's principles to like building that me and Grace had to like learn together. We learned that together, and it's a long learning process. Remember I said to Grace when she started, I was like, I say this to everyone that starts, we said it to Will, you're gonna hate me for 90 days.
It's longer than
I'm
90
just
days.
No, but it is, it's gonna be such an intense
Yeah.
learning process.
Yeah.
I'm like desperately trying to communicate my principles. I'm gonna do a really bad job of communicating what my principles are. They're gonna be super contradictory. There's gonna be this weird dichotomy all the time where I say this, but I mean this, and there's nuance to this, and that is just it.
That's so nice to hear. And sometimes I feel like I'm wrong for doing that. Like I'm wrong for saying this and then doing that. Do you know what I mean? Especially when
It's life.
Yeah.
Explain dichotomies to people. Explain the fact that sometimes two things can be true at the same time.
I come away from like situations like that feeling like, oh, I've been such a dickhead to that person.
Do you know what though? Do you know what's the bigger dickhead? When you
Not
fire
doing
them
it.
because they
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
meet your expectations.
Yeah.
And actually it was your fault because you were never clear about your expectations on something because you were scared
Yeah.
about like them liking you. It is unfair, it is cruel on them for them to let you down without them knowing.
Yeah.
Like you were saying about empathy, like it's not personal.
Yeah.
Like none of it's ever it's not like I hate your work.
Yeah.
It's like we're trying to build something here and I think let's do it this way.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool, let's do it this way.
Yeah. How long do you wait for someone to test and trial and not see results for?
My answer is actually about attitude.
Okay.
It's not about timeline, it's about how they take it.
Okay.
It's about how they take the feedback and like, do they genuinely want to learn? Like, Will and me doing this vlog, I don't know the answer to making a vlog in 2024.
Yeah.
No one's like, there's not a blueprint. So the key thing with Will was he's absolutely dedicated to this working, and he's and if I say something he doesn't understand, he's like, what do you mean by that, sorry? Even if I'm like tired and I'm asleep, he'll say, what do you mean by that, sorry? Can you just, his attitude towards like learning is exceptional. So me and him will wait fucking 4 years if we have to get it right. It's when someone has a bad attitude towards learning and then you go, and I would say a sentence to someone, which I think is kind of moves the tables so that you're on their team, is say to someone like, my job is to make sure that you succeed in this role. So I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make sure you are super clear on every expectation so that you're successful in this role. That is my job, and I will not let you down. And when you say that, you can give them the feedback.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the thing, it's like, you want to be by their side, not necessarily, like as Grace was saying, like, being like, you suck, you know?
Thank you and congratulations on an incredible tour. You are a dream to work with. Please enjoy these drinks on behalf of Michael and James.
Who wants a champagne?
There's a no alcohol-free, no Prosecco.
Oh, there we go.
For you.
There we go. I think they're gonna pop out.
Dom, you crack it open. I said to Dom,
Cheers.
love to do it at the start of it. So yeah.
Hey, thank you to all these guys, James, Michael, Will, Fran, like everyone. Thank you so much. As Steve said, like, you just made this so easy for us. So yeah, it's just huge congrats to you. And yeah, cheers.
Congrats to Dom as well, because without Dom, none of this would have happened. Because I always try and bottle things, and he tells me that I can't. But he also works behind the scenes to just make sure that all I have to do is walk on stage, and I don't have to think about anything else. And I know that the real hard work actually happens behind the scenes. It's everything that I don't see. So, huge congratulations to Dom, and well done to you too, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, everyone.
Well, mate.
Cheers.